안녕해요, 나나입니다. 어서 오세요 to my teeny tiny 세상. Now that I think about it, I've never properly showed you guys around. We're gonna go on a mini tour. Welcome. 어서 오세요. Clearly, I'm a collector. I have over 45 sets in my Lego world. My Batman sets aren't my favorite, but I do have a special place in my heart for my Dynamite set as well. I hate the song, but the set is so cute. I was so happy to add my new books to my solo leveling collection. I also read manga sometimes. I particularly love A Sign of Affection. I was so excited to see deaf representation in an anime, and it's literally the cutest romance ever. My biggest collection for sure is my albums. I have over 100, which is honestly kind of ridiculous, but I have stopped buying them lately. It's been about 6 months since I bought one. Since I know I'm going back to Korea, it makes more sense for me to wait until I won't have to pay for shipping anymore. And also, while I'm trying to save, there are more important uses for my money. But my extensive collection is how I was able to create this collage on my wall. I'm honestly really proud of how it came out. I'm also a plant mama. I normally have a black thumb, but that's why I love having cacti because they're super low maintenance and they're so adorable. This is beignet, nectarine, and tomato, and together they're my bento. I just named this one Jade because it's a jade tree and my creative juices ran out when it came time to name it. I may not be the best gardener, but I do my best to make sure they have a happy life. I love my bed. I got this duvet in Korea. When I left America, I had a twin size bed, and I anticipated having a twin size bed when I came back. But when I walked in my room, this queen size was staring back at me. The blanket is definitely too small for the bed, but it's the perfect size for me, so we're gonna keep it. I think I have the best pillows. The Please Leave is honestly my favorite, especially since it's next to my side-eyeing arrow pillow. These are all my books that didn't fit my aesthetic. I have a lot of novels and random Korean language books over there. Through there is my bathroom. Not that much to see there. This desk serves as my portable office. I do all my art projects, studying, recording, editing here. And I put it on wheels so I can put it away in my closet when I don't need it. And with that, my teeny tiny tour is coming to an end. I'm going to be doing a short Q&A about my study abroad. The first question is, why did I choose Korea? I have wanted to be a sign language interpreter since I was 10 years old, and when I was in middle school, I was introduced to Korean culture and K-pop by my god sister. As my interest in the language grew, I became exposed to the concept of foreign sign languages. The more I learned about how disabled people are treated in Southeast Asia, the more it fueled an interest for specifically Southeast Asian sign languages. When I was in high school, I started looking more into studying abroad, and I happened to find a bachelor's program for Korean and International Sign Language, and it cost less than half of what I would pay for one semester at Gallaudet, which is the college I considered going to in America. But since I would be learning a foreign language in a foreign language, I wanted to make sure that my Korean was pretty strong before I left. So that's how I ended up applying for Yonsei's Korean language program. I didn't really get what I expected out of my summer abroad, But as I mentioned in another video, it really helped prepare me for what life in Korea would actually be like. It really helped me gauge what my strengths and weaknesses are in Korean, and I think it gave me a strong foundation so that as I progress in my Korean learning, it's easier for me to grasp other concepts. How much did I spend during my study abroad in Korea? The Korean language program that I took was about $1,500, and then the room I was staying in cost about $1,600 for the whole 3 months. I had paid both of those by the time I arrived in Korea. Now, for my first month, I was so excited to be there that I was going out a lot, I was exploring different areas, buying way more things than I actually needed, and I ended up spending $1,152 that month. In July, my second month, I ended up spending less, but the amount I was spending on food went up $125. It wasn't even really restaurants that I was going to a lot. I've had a hard time finding food that I really enjoyed there, so I would overcompensate by going to a bunch of cafes, sometimes up to 3 times a day. I'm not proud of it, but I kind of felt like I was doing what I had to do. In August, I was feeling really homesick and did not want to be outside of my room unnecessarily, so I spent the least amount this month. I only spent about $300 in Korea. The rest of the money I spent once I came back. I honestly had no concept of a budget when I left for Korea. You for sure can go to Korea and spend way less than I did, with how cheap things are there, but if you want to consistently explore and try different food and do different things, I think $300 is a safe budget to leave with. How hard were my classes? I was studying at Yonsei University doing their level 2 university Korean course. I've heard that Yonsei has one of the most rigorous Korean language institutes, but honestly, my classes weren't really that hard. Our homework was optional, and the only thing we got a grade on were the quizzes and the tests. The quizzes were modeled off of coursework we did throughout class, just with minor changes. The tests were significantly harder, but if you paid attention to class and you participated, they gave you everything you needed to know to do well. I will say I am generally a good test taker, and I was familiar with a lot of the concepts we already learned, so that could have given me like a small advantage, but I really just don't think it was that hard. I think the hardest part was the immersion into only hearing Korean. We were only in class for 4 hours, and they were broken up into 50-minute blocks with 10-minute breaks in between. We were with one teacher for the first 2 hours and another teacher with the second 2 hours. My first teacher was amazing. She talked at a natural pace, but it was slow enough that we could keep up. She made sure to use Korean words we knew, and she explained concepts simply but thoroughly. My second teacher, she talked significantly faster, and she used harder grammatical structures and vocabulary, so it was a lot harder to follow along with what she was saying. I almost never asked questions in her class because I never knew what she was talking about when she explained. The first 2 weeks are definitely the hardest, but after that, I think it was really easy for me to follow along. One thing I will say is they did not focus a lot on the speaking portion of learning, and because it was a university course, the things that we did learn weren't that useful for everyday conversation, and I also just have mild social anxiety, so I never pushed myself to speak with Korean people outside of class. What were my classmates like? I was the only person in my class who wasn't from Asia, so it was definitely a little bit isolating at first because they all could gather together and communicate in all their common languages while I couldn't, and also just like the context of their lives are a lot more similar than they are to me, an American. So I think for the first month, I really didn't talk with anyone, but after that, I became friendly with everyone in my class. There was one Japanese lady in particular I got pretty close with. In addition to our regular class, we also did a pronunciation class together, and afterwards we would walk to and from class. We talked about cultural differences, TV shows, food, just casual conversation, and I really enjoyed spending time with her. There was also another Japanese girl in my class who I would talk to a little bit too, and we ended up having like a going away party together with another Chinese lady in our class, and I really wish I had tried harder to connect with them beforehand because they were all super nice to me. How much did my Korean improve? Before I left for Korea, I had very terrible listening skills. I could hear one sentence in normal speed and only be able to pick out like one or two words at best. It would take multiple listens for it to actually sound like Korean words, not just a random jumble of sounds. So my Korean listening improved, I think, the most. I was really bad at writing sentences before, but now I definitely have seen an improvement in my ability to form sentences without prompts. My speaking has did not really improve much, as I've kind of mentioned. I really just had a hard time with that. But if you follow my socials, you'll see that I'm starting a speaking challenge for myself in order to help with just getting over my fear of making mistakes and sounding bad. I'm doing mini speaking challenges for myself and posting them on my TikTok. So make sure to check that out. I've already posted my first one. I think I'm the most confident in my reading skills. Honestly, this is true about my English as well. Reading has always been a strong suit for me, and I'm really good about piecing context clues together. I definitely think my Korean now is in a much better place. I took a small break from studying since I came back, but I have started to pick up again, and concepts that really confuse me are coming to me a lot more easily. So I'm really hopeful to see significant progress in my learning from here. What are my goals moving forward? As of today, there are 170 days until the top exam I want to take. In order for me to go to college, I need to have a level 3 or higher, and my goal is to get to level 5. I'd say I'm about 2, maybe in between a 2 and a 3. I think it's definitely feasible for me to make a jump like that, but I'm definitely gonna have to lock in and work hard so that I can meet that goal. What to expect from me moving forward? I plan to post twice a month. And I'm going to be posting more consistently on my socials as well. I created this channel to be an outlet for myself, a way to show my progress and keep myself motivated, but I also hope to motivate others as well. I wanted my teeny tiny world to be a place where a lot of people feel welcomed and encouraged by my content. And I also just wanted to make videos that I wanted to see. So the focus of my channel is my language learning, but I'm also just gonna be sharing my passion for art, my passion for sign language, and just what my life is like here. I'm gonna be exploring the area I live in, and I'll be taking you guys with me. Excuse my appearance. I was too excited to open my packages to change before I started recording. But I'm so excited. I love getting mail. The first things, I got the last 2 books in the solo leveling manhwa series. I love solo leveling. I've read the manhwa, I have the books. I watched the series. I'm a hardcore fan, and so when I saw that I didn't have the last 2 books, I ordered it so fast. I love the art on these. And the next package. I love Wally, and since I got a new job, I wanted to celebrate. I was looking for any reason to get a Lego set. I will be building this now. As I've kind of mentioned before, while I will be mainly focusing on my language learning journey, I also plan to share other things on my channel, and I'm particularly passionate about art and fashion. I like to customize clothes, and I'm teaching myself how to sew. I mainly design stuff now, but since moving, I now have more space and time to explore my different passions, and one of them is making my dream wardrobe. I think cosplays are cool, but they're not really practical for public settings. I like to take inspiration from the art in the shows and create designs of unique outfits that could be worn in public, and I am excited to try and make those a reality. Currently, I've been obsessed with Gachiokura. I think it has such a unique art style and plot. I've been working on a design for a pair of shoes inspired by Ruru, the main character, and I think they turned out pretty cool. Hopefully, I'll be making these a reality in the near future. But yeah, if you made it this far, thanks for listening to my TED Talk, and let me know a show that you think has cool art that I can make more designs inspired by. Okay, I just left from the Korean language exchange. It honestly was a lot more fun than I expected. It was definitely different than I expected too. I don't really know what I was thinking it was gonna be like, but it was a bunch of tables lined up, and then we kind of just like mostly Americans or like English speakers were on one side, and then mostly Korean people were on the other side, and then the Korean people would mainly use English, but they also switched between Korean to help us out, and then I almost only spoke in Korean if I could help it. It was really fun. We were talking like just kind of generic first time meeting people questions, like where are you from, what are you here for, like what's your job, etc. And they were really nice, and I will definitely be going back. I feel like like I thought it was pretty low pressure, so I wasn't stressed out so much about like not making mistakes, and I felt like I could talk more naturally. And it was nice just talking with like actual Korean people, not just like instructors or people who are also learning. So yeah, I had a lot of fun, and I'm excited to go back.